last weekend, I'm directly related to Joan of Arc's brother Pierre.
Wow, directly related as well.
How can you be directly related to the brother and then not her?
She didn't have any children, but he did, so I think that's how it works. I'll bring the family tree in.
She's a distant aunt of some kind.
Yeah. Great, until about 4 o'clock. Aunt.
I bet there is no one else on Six Music, nay the BBC, who can say that they've got a direct link to Joan of Arc's brother Pierre. Is there any more to ask about this? Because I'm intrigued to know how you find this information out.
It was a series of family trees. You know, Steve, as you know, most evenings I spend with a cigar, a decanter of sherry, in front of a roaring fire with a bell push and a valet.
Of course, yeah.
Going through old manuscripts.
Of course you do.
And on this particular evening, I was just going through some old family trees, reading some old Guernsey family history.
Sure.
And someone said, tell you what, here's a find. Everyone, listen up. Cleared the throat, read something out in French, and then we roughly translated it.
Of course you did.
Into approximate English, and made that startling discovery.
Then on a bust on a mantelpiece, a secret door opened.
Yeah.
And there it was.
And there it was. The treasure of Joan of Arc is now probably mine.
Wow, this is extraordinary, because it's not... Was Joan of Arc, is she now Saint Joan? I think, hasn't she achieved sainthood?
I think she did become saint.
Wow, so maybe you're the heir to something. It could be like the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
There must be some way we can exploit this for financial gain.
Yeah, that's why that's the first thing I thought, obviously. Maybe, you got any ideas, Harry?
Well, no, I'm just taken aback by the whole thing, really.
Harry, can you just go on? I want you to go online and see if you can dig up some information about Pierre. I'm interested to know. There might be because it's interesting, of course, that I think the Daily Telegraph, unbeknownst to me, did a kind of Steve family tree. It has a little sort of section, and what was brilliant was on both sides of my family, there's not a single person who was anything other than utterly poor. I mean, I'm seriously. There's like criminals, and what's bizarre is we have the surname Merchant, not a single merchant. In our past, not a I mean, I come from Bristol. We could have been sugar merchants. We could have been slave merchants. There's a lot of opportunities for us there, and we did not exploit it. And I think presumably at some point, just some distant relative just said, "Oh yeah, I'm a merchant." Was in the pub. What do you do? Yeah, I'm a merchant. And that stuck. But we've got absolutely nothing in our background.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
Really,
gypsies, criminals. That's just the scratching the mere surface.
And that's just your father.
That's just my dad.
BBC Six Music.
BBC Six Music.
I'm pleased to announce that whilst in Vancouver, I only went out really once or twice socialising with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but I was pleased to be able to declare that I was part of his entourage, and it was exactly like the TV show Entourage. At one point we all met at his apartment. I went downstairs, a stretch limo pulled up, we got in it, drove about 200 yards to the back entrance of a nightclub, went up the stairs, the guys were all saying hello, we walked through the kitchens, it was textbook, it was absolutely textbook, straight into the VIP area, boom, booze laid on by DJ. It was absolutely classy. And anyway, I thought it would make perfect sense to play this tune. Jane's Addiction, Superhero, the theme tune, of course, to TV show Entourage, and very much the life that I've been trying to lead. Pretty much since I was at school. Dan and Harry, you were very much beginning of my entourage.
You've moved on, but you've not quite shed us yet.
Not got rid of me yet, which is a great shame.
Delight.
I've been trying hard. Rufus is adding a bit of glam, but it's not quite as rock and roll as perhaps one would like. It's nice that you are, descended from... I still can't believe I'm actually going to say that sentence. Joan of Arc's brother.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary.
Who'd have thought that I'd be in your entourage when that's my pedigree?
I know. And we've been seeking out some information, just if we can clarify what exactly that means. Does it bestow a title on you and therefore the show? I mean, can we say the show is sort of by royal appointment or whatever? I don't know.
I think we should go for the highest blown appointment we can whether it's godly, saintly, or simply noble, French royal.
Noble.
Yeah. I think we should certainly give it that sort of patronage to the show. Maybe I can knock together a little crest or something.
That would be dynamite. The Steve Show crest. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, because Pierre was he was a knight of the Order of the Porcupine.
Was he?
So we'll have to incorporate a little porcupine.
Where's this information you've gleaned?
We've had emails from
From the internet, so it's 100% factually accurate. He had a son curiously named the Maid.
Yeah. But what's making my eyes light up is the fact that Charles VII bestowed upon him the perception of a right to collecting tolls in the district of Chaumont. Now I'm thinking, those tolls probably haven't been collected for a very long time. There's a chance we could, work this angle a little bit.
And, Frenchie scared of any English invader.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If we went over there, started demanding those tolls, and the euro quite strong.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In these credit crunch times, this could be our ticket to...
This could be our ticket out of this hellhole.
Yeah.
And they'll be very accepting of that. They won't have strikes or anything.
Oh, of course also.
I'm thinking I'll just knock together myself a little shield with a porcupine kind of crest on it, go over there on the Channel Tunnel and start asking for some coins in Calais and that. You see if I don't find my way out the credit crunch.
Brilliant, yes. Then we'll look forward to your reporting back on that next week. Sammy from the north, did you have any similar discoveries whilst I've been away?
No, I was in a car crash.
What?
Yeah.
No. I can't believe we didn't ask you about that before all this other stuff. I do apologise, it probably seems a bit
Well, it's
crass.
pretty more impressive.
It is actually, isn't
I
it?
smashed up a smart car. He's related to the Joan of Arc. The Joan of Arc.
The Joan of Arc.
It's good that I didn't say Joan
That
of Arc.
sounds like he's actually related to a pub. To a French pub. So what, you were in a car crash? Was it your fault?
Luckily, no, but my car was written off, and instead of going to the hospital in an ambulance, I stayed at the side of the road hugging my car and crying.
Oh no. Were you injured?
Pretty injured, yeah. Compensation, that's my way out of the credit
Ding
crunch.
dong, yeah. So seriously, you were injured and you're okay?
Proper, yeah, fine now. It was a bit sad and boo-hoo, but I've got a new car and everything's fine. But that's basically what I've been consumed with, that and milkshakes.
Of course. Yeah, of course. You're still serving the milkshakes?
Still doing the milkshakes, yeah.
Okay, good.
Not loving it as much. Probably it's just the hard work and trying to struggle through a car crash injury, but that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. It's bringing us down a little bit, to be honest. I was hoping you'd have perhaps had a funny run-in with a kind of strange relative.
I've got hair like Boris Johnson now.
Perfect. Well done. You've saved it.
Something.
Thank you. Classic Dusty Springfield, No Easy Way Down from her 1969 album, Dusty in Memphis. Steve Show, 6 Music. Still to come, Ben Folds will be here in the studio. Looking forward to that. Yeah, a little round of applause. Why not? Get excited. Get very excited about that. So what we were talking about? We were talking about Canadians and racism. I didn't say it goes hand in hand with all of them, but the guy who was driving me around.
Wait a minute, careful.
No, I'm not. I don't. Just the guy who was driving me around was absolutely extraordinary. Because what was extraordinary? It was a weird kind of racism because it wasn't your classic, BNP list racism. Anyone on the list, by the way, in here? No. Good.
No.
Good. A little bit edgy. A little bit worried when that came out, I'm sure. There's this chap who drove me around when I was doing this film, and he's not classically racist because he's married to a Thai lady, but he's got a real problem with the Japanese and the Chinese. But what was extraordinary about him was that I'd just literally come off the plane, and he was able to bring his racism in that early, which is quite surprising. You'd have thought normally he would warm up, perhaps to get to know my name, check that I'm actually the guy on the piece of card with Steve Merchant on it. Took you a while to get through customs, didn't it? Yeah, a lot of the Chinese, of course, in front of you. Oh, what were they all like? Ching 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 chong chong chang chang chang. We had not even got to the car park, and he was already doing the impression of the Chinese person, which was extraordinary. But what was amazing about him was he seemed to be able to bring every single conversation topic around to the Chinese people. And those people who whether it's that kind of backward racism, like the thing is about these Chinese people, they come over here, they've opened these shops, they're open 24/7. You can get anything you want at any time. they're doing us out of jobs. Well,
horrible.
Yeah, maybe if you worked a little bit harder. And but that was great because I would say things like, it's getting a bit rainy here in Vancouver. He's saying, yeah, well, of course, the problem with that is you get a lot of colds this time of year, and it's a lot of your colds brought over by your Chinese fellas, and of course the doctors got no way of curing them because they're sort of foreign, and it was extraordinary. Anything you mentioned,
Must have been almost like a game.
Oh, it was.
Start
No, in
a
the end, I would.
conversation about your eyesight or something. And see how
Absolutely.
long it takes.
No, I would.
Yeah.
I genuinely would say something like, I had some coffee earlier. Coffee. Oh, and off we'd go. Yeah. Have you ever tried that Japanese coffee?
Yeah.
Is there Japanese coffee? I've got no idea.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely remarkable. Why did I bring that up?
You didn't. We were talking happily about Sammy's car crash, and you said, "What are we talking about?" Oh yeah, I remember Canadians and racism.
Yes,
And you
no, I didn't want
this
to. I didn't want
racist tirade against the
to.
Canadian.
I didn't want to. As I say, tar them all with that brush. But
Is this an attempt to be a bit more edgy?
Well, listen, it seems to me that's very much the way. What happened there while I was away? That was insane,
That
wasn't
was
it?
mental.
What's strange is, as far as I could tell, it seemed to dominate every single newspaper, didn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas in Vancouver, it was a tiny little paragraph. They were more interested in, say, Barack Obama, the first black president. That apparently seemed to be more intriguing to them. But it seemed to go insane, didn't it? Over here, I wasn't.
What's our official line? Are we allowed to defend or give any sort of opinion? I don't think we are.
I don't think we are. I think that's
no.
pretty much frowned upon, isn't it? I don't have.
I think it's fair to say that some people think it's very bad, and others, of course, in mitigation, might think the opposite. That's my view.
very good.
Yeah.
Good point.
Barack Obama.
Yeah, absolutely.
That cab driver is furious. Well, listen. We can't talk about that. We got no opinion. Although the news coverage, I noticed in the States is extraordinary. That was one thing I particularly was aware of during election night. I don't know. Did you stay and watch it over here?
Yeah.
Bits
A little
of it,
bit, yeah.
It was remarkable because obviously there's a very big distinction between American news coverage and English. American newscasters, all beautiful, gorgeous, good-looking, groomed, and then I remember thinking on, like, you flip through channels, you'd find sort of BBC News, and there's some really ugly guy at sort of 4 a.m. who's doing the kind of midnight to 6 a.m. shift. Kill me. You can just read it in his eyes. But on the American coverage, it was extraordinary. They had I think that, I don't know if the news, it's possible for the news to jump ship, but it actually appeared to have jumped ship on CNN when they started having interviews with holograms. It was absolutely remarkable, and they would say, coming up, exclusive interview with Will.i.am. You want to get Will.i.am's opinion on Barack's, win, obviously. And so, the newscaster would sort of stand there, and then sort of Star Trek-like, a hologram would appear of Will.i.am, who presumably was in a studio somewhere else in America, and then they would stand there. And like, when Obi-Wan Kenobi appears in Star Wars in that kind of ghostly form, it was, and I just thought, this is preposterous. This is where news now has just become show business.
Jeremy Vine did go a bit Minority Report over here. He did have his hologram wall of the States, of course, in which he could put any area by his fingertips, and then would rush off to arrest criminals before they'd even committed the crime, which was extraordinary coverage. Brilliant.
But the good thing now about news coverage is you have to get opinions from anyone. But if they're celebrities, it's even better. When Lewis Hamilton won the Grand Prix, they got on the local TV news. They got Lamar in to give his opinion.
Who, Lamar?
Lamar.
Oh, Lamar.
The R&B singer. And they said, so Lamar, what did you think of Lewis Hamilton's incredible win? He said, well, I was watching it at home. This is verbatim. He said, I was watching it at home and he was ahead. And I was like, yeah. And then he wasn't going to do it. And I was like, no. But then he did it. And I was like, yeah. Which just shows the value of getting celebrities' opinions.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, this is going to be a dynamite link now. Just wait for this. No need for a hologram of Ben Folds, because we will be talking to him live in a minute after some records.
What?
And stuff.
What?
Have we got... chaos over here.
Dynamite.
This whole thing,
Dynamite link.
it's
Someone phone Lamar.
Just because I'm losing doesn't mean I'm lost.
Coldplay with Jay-Z and Lost. Steve Show 6 Music, and apologies, it's been a ramshackle affair so far, but we've been out of shape. We're like boxers who've not been in the ring and probably had sex last night, and apparently that's not very good for you, is it, when you're a boxer? But listen, big round of applause, please. Ben Folds has very kindly agreed to come in.
Thank you.
And sorry that you've come in on, as I say, such a ramshackle affair. I do apologise, but we are completely out of shape.
No, that makes me feel more comfortable. It's better.
Good, excellent. Yeah,
That's a disadvantage.
Sure. I was listening to the album yesterday. Listened to it in the car twice in a row. That must be good.
Oh yeah.
Is that good for an album? I don't know how many times you need to. What's an optimum listening for you? If a fan comes up, I listen to it 6 times in a row. Is that?
I listen to when I like a record, I just kind of listen to that and nothing else for a while, and but it takes me a while. I have to listen to music for a few times before.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Does it bother you now with the kind of iTunes generation where we get a tiny little snippet, and if we're not interested, forget it, not bothering